like, comment, and subscribe.
Usually with Let's Talk Jinx, we talk about the patch notes, what's happening with the patch, what's happening to Jinx specifically in the patch, anything that might affect Jinx with other AD carry changes and stuff like that. And we will be doing that for this episode as well as usual, but because there's so little in there actually, we will also be talking about RiotX Arcane and some Arcane Jinx stuff, the missions that are coming, how you can get Arcane Jinx possibly for free and stuff like that. So first and foremost, patch 11.22. We do got like some champion changes and stuff like that. Again, nothing to Jinx, even skin wise, nothing to Jinx. But there are some other AD carry changes we'll touch on briefly, like Kalista. The E damage ratio is being increased. If you don't play Kalista, when she throws a bunch of spears into you, you use the E's to pull them all out, and that's when she does like a lot of damage. Or when she like smites stuff, if she's doing like Baron or Dragon with the jungler and stuff like that. Basically, the ratio is going up 10%, and the subsequent ratio, like spear ratio, as in you can just pile in a bunch of spears into somebody. Looks like that's going up as well by like at least 3 on all levels, and then towards max it goes up to 5. So that being said, that would be interesting in laning phase because I don't know, I think people still max Q just for the poke damage if you're just going just so all in on somebody without your auto attacks, but like the Ren damage is part of it, the whole package deal, so that will be interesting to see. Possibly if you're playing as Jinx though, one thing is you cannot range Kalista with your rocket launcher still, so keep that in mind. And your flame choppers do stop her hopping, so if she's really going in on you for some reason and you just really can't like get away from it, that is an option you possibly do have. The other AD carry change that was in here that we will talk about as well is Varus. The E damage ratio is being increased. So the hail of arrows, basically when he like throws the arrows up and it's just a bunch of them that come down, sometimes Varus's will take this first but won't max it. Sometimes obviously they'll max Q as well. It's a lot of AD carries, their Q is a damaging spell if they're not auto attack focused. The E, though, however, is something sometimes people use for wave clear, sometimes people use it for harass, stuff like this. So this could end up being a little bit annoying if you're not really trading with Varus, but Varus is just trying to like either harass you or even clear the wave. If you're in one of those elos where you know about wave control and how that works and stuff like that, this could be annoying for that specific reason as well. You try to set up a wave so you can back, and by the time you get back, the wave will bounce back and you'll catch it. But then with something like this happening, it might be a situation where it's like, oh, hey, he just cleared it because there's a little bit extra damage with whatever he's also building, and then boom, that ruins the whole wave management situation. So there you go. With that being said, there's not really a lot of other AD carry changes in there. We will bring up Vi, obviously, of course, fat hands, if you will, as Jinx mentions. Vi is my second favorite champion, though, so there's a little bit of conflict of interest there. But anyways, there are going to be some Q and R improvements for consistency. And so one of the reasons we're bringing this up is quality of life stuff is also usually like, sometimes it could be like a secret buff. And when it comes to like in the lore, Jinx can deal with Vi and Caitlyn just fine. But in game, Vi is actually one of the best junglers you can use against Jinx because of Jinx's immobility and Vi's like point and click lockdown, you know, ultimate and stuff like that. And the ultimate is one of the two things getting these quality of life changes. On the Vault Breaker, to kind of summarize it, the knockback duration is going up slightly, but when you dash, the dash range now extends up to 50 units when going over a wall. So no more of those instances. I've had those because when I have to jungle, Vi is my go-to champion. That's why she's my second most played champion with autofill existing and stuff. If I have to jungle, we're going Vi. When you try to go over like a wall for a dragon or something, and you just see her like charge the punch, fly into the wall, and then just not go over it, that sucks. It really sucks, actually. It's really, I don't like it. A lot of people probably don't like it. This is like changing that, saying, hey, instead of that happening, we're just going to give you 50 extra units on the dash, so you can always make sure you can consistently go over walls. That's great. Now, the distance traveled and damage dealt are now based on the exact channel time instead of every 2.5 seconds. So, like, think of it like the Super Mega Death Rocket, even in a way where it's like the longer it travels, the more damage it's going to do. So you want those max range Vault Breakers instead of the point blank range ones. Targets get knocked back immediately upon contact with Vi. Good. The R, cease and desist, varies between 1.25 and 1.49 seconds to just 1.49 seconds always, or just 1.4 seconds. Old reliable, both the target's knockup and Vi's self-stun during her ult animation now have consistent durations rather than varying between casts. That's great. Vi's ult knockup will take effect once she has 300 units from her primary target instead of varying between 0 and 300. And nearby enemies in Vi's path will get knocked back immediately upon contact with Vi. So if you're playing as Jinx, get those flame chompers ready. This one, remember, that Vi will chase someone to the ends of the earth, mind you, but at the same time, if you can maybe get her, like you see her flash over a wall, you see her coming before she actually hits the ultimate, try and get her then, because then if she doesn't cast it, then regardless of if it's unstoppable or not, you might be able to snare and run away. With that being said, Yumi, we might throw in there just the E heal and movement speed ratio decrease, so you might not see her if you've been seeing her in your games. She has been like permabanned at Worlds and stuff like that. We will see. So that being said, of course, good old Gore Drinker, League of Gore Drinker. But there's just bug fixes. There are upcoming skins. You might see Vi somewhere too, because the Arcane Vi skin is going to be a thing. But also Victoria's Blitzcrank will be hitting the Rift. So you might see Blitzcranks in your games as or against in the bottom lane. If you're playing as like with one and you're Jinx, the combo with the hook and the flame choppers and stuff can be pretty good if you play with a good Blitzcrank. So what we're going to move on to now is Arcane Jinx. With Arcane coming out, a lot of the champions involved in Arcane, because it's like a prequel kind of a thing, again, like they're like, I just call them like prequel skins. These are the skins when like they're just starting out kind of a thing. We have the Caitlyn, who just had the massive, you know, ASU, so all of her splashes have been reworked too. And so this is like Jinx falling into insanity, but not quite where she is today. So there's a difference. And that's like what Riot likes to do with skins sometimes, is tell that story, which is part of why some people just consider this like a Jinx like base skin rework, and I can see why. But that's why there's a difference ultimately, is because it's not the same era of Jinx. One's like Jinx starting out, and then that's Jinx, she's already established, full crazy, been crazy for a minute kind of a thing. But one of the things they are doing, for one, Jinx as well as all these champions, so Caitlyn, Jace, Vi, will be free to play. Instead of the free trap rotation being like a week long, they're going to be free to play from November 6th all the way through like December 9th. So that's going to be interesting. That's actually how I got started on Jinx. Jinx happened to be free to play when I first started playing back in 2014, and she just stayed free to play until you hit level 6. So I was like, okay, cool. But they have this this mission going on basically. So for each champion, so Jace, Vi, Caitlyn, and Jinx, when a new week comes, it's like connected to a week, so like the dates, you know, November 9th through December 9th. But the Jinx one down here doesn't start till November 24th, so around Thanksgiving if you're here in the States. But just win one game or play 3 games, and you unlock Jinx as a permanent champion if you don't have Jinx unlocked already, and you get the Arcane skin Jinx for free. Which is kind of nice, actually. They did that with Gameplank, actually, where you got his captain skin for free back when he died in 2015. If you did something, and you just played like a couple games, but you don't have to win. You just have to play 3 games. They can be ARAMs. I think they might even be able to be co-op versus bot if you're not really feeling like the PvP aspect at all. But there you go. That's how you can actually get Arcane Jinx for free. And even Jinx are free if you don't have Jinx. I imagine if you're watching this video, you're a Jinx main, so you already have Jinx. But if you don't, and you've always wanted Jinx though, there you go. You just, when November 24th hits, win 1 game or just play 3 games. You can lose 3 games, and you'll get Jinx, and you'll get the Arcane Jinx skin for free, as well as the other skins. But since it's a Jinx focused video, there we go. We're gonna swap over to Spartax's tweet. Speaking of the whole idea, you know, that's like a Jinx rework kind of the base skin. This is what it looks like. It definitely has a lot more detail and stuff on it than the base skin, of course, has. But again, there's like that differential, I feel, is why that's a thing, right? That this is like Jinx falling into insanity, and then you got Jinx fully insane. So that's why I think there's a difference. That's why they didn't make this the new base skin. Some people, and the reason some people have issues is because they feel like, well, this skin's gonna cost like $10, but all it feels like is an updated to base Jinx, the way that Caitlyn just got ASU. That's a whole conversation for another time. I won't get into it. If anything, I'll leave you guys to get into it if you want to. And we're going to end the video because I think it's still kind of interesting. I'm probably going to play, I'm at least going to play 3 games, so I'm probably going to get bodied just so I can pick this up, of course. Because we're a Jinx channel. That's what we do. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next. We'll just have to wait and see. So, till next time, take care and enjoy pizza responsibly. Thank you for watching. And also stay tuned on future projects and stuff as we head into December. Thankmas 2021 by Jacksepticeye is coming back once again. It's going to be a massive charity event, and we're going to be participating and collabing with it, which is actually pretty exciting. And you can too, and there'll be details about that at some point as well. A little bit separated from the Jinx stuff, but I know some people even on the Jinx subreddit are actually, you know, they like charity and stuff. So I'll try and get something more about that at some point as well. But anyways, that's the end of the video. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.